that yes, it's still a jungle, but more importantly, that water continues to get more and more clear, and we're able to see 4 feet back into the back of the aquarium where we have that massive wood root and a vegetable wall or plant wall. So this tank is just getting better and better. And of course, with the other double DIY build, the 750-gallon Amazonian Islands aquarium, you can see we've got some new wood in there that we're just getting submerged. We're going to be building up the wood root structure that goes over the top. We're going to bring that down the sides more on each side, and there's a lot more of that upstairs. So this is getting ready to really kick off, and of course, we now have lily pads. So we'll check that out sometime soon. So as you can see, the double DIY builds, they're settling in nicely. 600 Asian jungles becoming a jungle. Still working on the Amazonian Islands build, but I got some good ideas for the wood root. But this video is about that monstrosity behind me. I'm sure you can see all the issues with it, just the horribleness of it. Let me get into it and explain what I'm talking about. Well, there it is. I'm sure you guys can already see all the problems. I mean, it's just from side to side, it's a complete travesty. I don't even know where to start. Well, actually, maybe I should start with that vine. That's actually coming from the pothos, and it's growing all the way down into the substrate. That's actually pretty cool. I'm pretty happy to see that. But let me talk about what's gone wrong here, and I think you can see it. All these African cichlids, Mbuna from the lake, and a haps, and river jewel Africans living together peacefully, having babies, all, you know, everyone coexisting, no aggression anywhere. Plants, a bunch of plants growing, healthy leaves, they're not being destroyed. Obviously, my African cichlid tank is a complete disaster. None of this is supposed to happen. All of these fish were supposed to have already killed each other, and the plants, well, they were supposed to have been wiped out in the first week. So obviously, I'm doing something wrong here, and I'm going to have to get to the bottom of this, see if I can't turn this tank around. So obviously, I'm being facetious and making a joke, but I did want to draw attention to, actually, and you know what, before I get any further, I want to say that the things you see out there where they caution you about keeping African cichlids a certain way with plants or mixing certain species, they're coming from a good place. They're trying to save a new fish keeper from running into a disaster, and you absolutely can. I have a specific combination of things here, certain plants, certain fish, and I'm demonstrating a way it can work. But I don't want to throw off a new fish keeper to think that it's automatic. No, there's a lot that went into this build, both in the design of the aquascape, the choice of the plants, the choice of the fish, individual fish species that is making this work. But I am trying to expand on that advice where they're trying to, you know, save a new fish keeper from a bad situation. And I want to show that while it is good advice, it is not an absolute. There are nuances to it, quite a few nuances. And they are what I've just spoken about in terms of, are there, let's go with the plants. Are there lots of plants that African cichlids would destroy? Absolutely. Will they destroy every plant? Nope, not by any stretch of the imagination. Are there combinations of African cichlids that if you keep them together, you're asking for punishment? Absolutely. And it's not just limited to Mbuna versus haps versus peacocks. It's individual species of haps or peacocks or Mbuna. There are certain Mbuna that are freakishly aggressive, and then there's other ones that are not. And the same with peacocks and haps. And then the other big factor is, how do you get all of these fish, some from a river, some from a lake, different species, how do you get them coexisting happily? Well, a huge part of that is the aquascape. You have to factor in how fish live and how you can make them live successfully in a much smaller environment in an aquarium by hitting on a few key areas. So for one, it always starts with water quality. You have to have excellent water quality and excellent food that you feed them. If the fish are happy and healthy, that's the baseline for them, you know, being compatible with other fish and not fighting. You know, like anybody, if you're hurting, then you know, you're not and you're unhappy, that it's going to interact. That's going to manifest itself in your interaction with anybody. So same thing with fish. The second part is, in the wild, their territory is mainly built around food source. So they're trying to control an area large enough so that they have enough food available to them. So in this case, African cichlids a lot of them are algae grazers, especially like in Buna and everything. So they're looking for a certain amount of real estate that they know is going to provide them enough food source. And then beyond that is line of sight. So if a fish can see really far, that means there's not a lot of structure there, and so there's not a lot of potential food source there. So that fish is going to want to try to claim a very large territory. But by breaking up the aquarium, like with my 125 and Buna River Aquarium, you can see that their line of sight is completely chopped up everywhere. There's so many places for the fish to dart in and out of and not see each other all the time. And so from their point of view, there's just always new fish coming and going, coming and going. So not any one fish sees this as, I can dominate this tank, because there's just constant other fish coming in and out. And then the other part, like I touched on at the beginning of this, is that it's the species. So I've chosen specific species of Mbuna that are more compatible, more friendly. A certain species of jewel, the Turkana jewel, that is more friendly than some of the other jewel species. And then, of course, a dolphin hap is way more peaceful than, like, if I'd have put a Venustus or something like that in here. So more of a predator hap or a Malawi trout or something like that. So fish selection essentially goes a long way into this. So it's the line of sights, it's the aquascaping, it's the fish selection, it's the quality water, the quality food. But I just want this to be an illustration of, if you do put all those things together, you can keep a beautiful, peaceful African cichlid aquarium where the fish aren't always bickering with each other, and you can have beautiful, lush plants with these fish and enjoy their amazing coloration on the backdrop of a well aquascaped, heavily planted aquarium. Like I said, I just want this to be an alternative for newer fish keepers, other than just a pile of rocks and overcrowding it. Remember the 3,000 gallon? Well, it's still here, and as you can see, it is ready for an overhaul. Got just a few of the lights on. Most of the aquascape is taken out, except for the hardscape, which is all going to get redone. The entire aquascape's getting redone. New lighting, new filtration, new water flow, and as you can see here, quite a bit of interesting things are going to be going into this. And originally I thought about maybe doing like a giant mega video for beginning to end, but you know what, I think I'm going to do it vlog style like the other videos, so you get to see the progress as I move along with the tank. There's going to be so much going on, it's going to take quite a few videos to get it all in, so take you along for the ride as we completely overhaul the 3,000 gallon Amazon aquarium. Alright, so definitely super exciting things coming with the 3,000 gallon. It's been a long time coming, and it's going to be worth it because I've amassed all the equipment, all the new equipment, all the new aquascape, everything's ready to go. It's just time for me to start implementing it, and you'll see in the video series on it, there's a reason it's taking so long. It's a lot of work. It's a huge overhaul. It's really going to take this tank to the next level. And of course, I know I've been saying part 4 of the DIY build is coming soon. Well, it really is coming soon. It's coming next because it's done. Everything is done. So no excuses this time. So we're going to conclude that tank. We're going to see the actual built tank holding water. We're going to get the final prices, all that good stuff. And for anyone who wants to build something like that or similar to that, they'll have the entire path all the way through. Parts 1 through 4, everything will be done. And of course, we have the premiere coming for that video after that. So, once the tank is built, that's not the end of it, right? We got a wetlands filter to build. We got a tank to aquascape. We have new fish to put in. We have a release of a new tank to happen, a premiere for that aquarium. I'm super looking forward to that, especially that wetlands filter. In the basement annex, I have high hopes for some future filtration designs that I'm going to be doing. So very exciting times. Oh yeah, along that lines, concrete guy is going to be here next week. So yeah, the basement annex is happening. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.